I enjoy a good meal, a good vacation, or a good movie, much as anyone else would. Most students who take math classes aren't going to be mathematicians. They're going to be engineers, statisticians, in many ways. That's the more important mission of math education. When you're concentrating hard, hours can fly by, and it's just you and a math problem. I was never very good at school with humanities, anything which was more a matter of opinion. Math research is more like a marathon. If I experiment enough, I get a deeper understanding. What interests me is the connection between maths and the real world. I don't have any magical ability. I look at a problem, play with it, work out a strategy. Talent is important, but how one develops and nurtures it is even more so. 1. Remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. 2. Never give up work. Work gives you meaning and purpose, and life is empty without it. 3. If you are lucky enough to find love, remember it is there and don't throw it away. We are just an advanced breed of monkeys on a minor planet of a very average star, but we can understand the universe. That makes us something very special. Quiet people have the loudest minds. Life would be tragic if it weren't funny. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. Remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what makes the universe exist. Be curious, and however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. It matters that you don't just give up. My expectations were reduced to 0 when I was 21. Everything since then has been a bonus. It surprises me how disinterested we are today about things like physics, space, the universe, and philosophy of our existence, our purpose, our final destination. It's a crazy world out there. Be curious. The victim should have the right to end his life if he wants, but I think it would be a great mistake, however bad life may seem. There is always something you can do and succeed at. While there's life, there is hope. I have noticed that even those who assert that everything is predestined and that we can change nothing about it still look both ways before they cross the street. One of the basic rules of the universe is that nothing is perfect. Perfection simply doesn't exist. Without imperfection, neither you nor I would exist. In the universe, it may be that primitive life is very common and intelligent life is fairly rare. Some would say it has yet to occur on Earth. The universe doesn't allow perfection. I think computer viruses should count as life. I think it says something about human nature that the only form of life we have created so far is purely destructive. We've created life in our own image. My goal is simple. It is a complete understanding of the universe, why it is as it is, and why it exists at all. There is a fundamental difference between religion which is based on authority, and science, which is based on observation and reason. Science will win because it works. Although I cannot move and I have to speak through a computer, in my mind I am free. If time travel is possible, where are the tourists from the future? People who boast about their IQ are losers. The thing about smart people is that they seem like crazy people to dumb people. I'm not afraid of death, but I'm in no hurry to die. The downside of my celebrity is that I cannot go anywhere in the world without being recognized. It is not enough for me to wear dark sunglasses and a wig. The wheelchair gives me away. Not only does God play dice, but He sometimes throws them where they cannot be seen. Remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Never give up work. Work gives you meaning and purpose, and life is empty without it. If you are lucky enough to find love, remember it is there and don't throw it away. I don't think the human race will survive the next 1,000 years unless we spread into space. Painting is poetry that is seen rather than felt, and poetry is painting that is felt rather than seen. A painter should begin every canvas with a wash of black, because all things in nature are dark except where exposed by the light. Once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward, for there you have been, and there you will always long to return. Study without desire spoils the memory, and it retains nothing that it takes in. It had long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things. The painter has the universe in his mind and hands. Nothing strengthens authority so much as silence. I love those who can smile in trouble. One can have no smaller or greater mastery than mastery of oneself. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. I have from an early age abjured the use of meat, and the time will come when men such as I will look upon the murder of animals as they now look upon the murder of men. Nothing can be loved or hated unless it is first understood. The smallest feline is a masterpiece. Art is never finished, only abandoned. As a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so life well used brings happy death. If you are alone, you belong entirely to yourself. If you are accompanied by even one companion, you belong only half to yourself, or even less in proportion to the thoughtlessness of his conduct. And if you have more than one companion, you will fall more deeply into the same plight. Learning never exhausts the mind. I love those who can smile in trouble, who can gather strength from distress and grow brave by reflection. 'Tis the business of little minds to shrink, but they whose heart is firm and whose conscience approves their conduct will pursue their principles unto death. The knowledge of all things is possible. The greatest deception men suffer is from their own opinions. There are three classes of people: those who see when they are shown, those who do not see. Principles for the development of a complete mind. Study the science of art. Study the art of science. Develop your SENSES, especially learn how to see. Realize that everything connects to everything else. I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Being willing is not enough. We must do. It is easier to resist at the beginning than at the end. The deeper the feeling, the greater the pain. The function of muscle is to pull and not to push, except in the case of the genitals and the tongue. As you cannot do what you want what you can do. One has no right to love or hate anything if one has not acquired a thorough knowledge of its nature. Great love springs from great knowledge of the beloved object, and if you know it but little, you will be able to love it only a little or not at all. I thought I was learning to live. I was only learning to die. Every now and then go away. Have a little relaxation, for when you come back to your work, your judgment will be sure. Go some distance away, because then the work appears. Smaller and more of it can be taken in at a glance, and a lack of harmony and proportion is more readily seen.